Hi everyone, it's Mrs. E. Welcome back to Reading Wonders. This week we're going to be talking about what kind of foods grow on a farm. Now I know you all know this song, Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And in that song we always talk about different animals. And it is true that people raise animals on a farm. Here's a picture of what a farm might look like. You see a barn, lots of green grass, an enclosed area with a gate. But people not only raise animals on the farm, they grow crops. And here's a picture of a crop that you might see in your very own country. What country do we live in? Everybody help me out. The United States of America. In this picture, you see a great big field. Maybe it's a crop of wheat or maybe corn. And if you look carefully, there is a farmer riding on a tractor and he's turning the land over and keeping it rich and fertile because we need the food that farmers grow on crops. Think about it. What are some of your favorite foods that might grow on a farm? Take a look. Do you see any fruits and vegetables that you like? Well, when I look at this picture, I see an orange. Yes, I love oranges, chock full of vitamin C. Bananas, good for you too, lots of potassium. And apples. They say if you eat an apple a day, you'll keep the doctor away. On the bottom, we have some veggies. Yum, yum. I love my veggies. Lettuce, the greener the better for me. Carrots, you see me eating them all the time. And green beans, good for you. Let's go back. What kinds of foods grow on a farm? Well, fruits and vegetables grow on a farm. I showed you a picture of a farm that might exist right here in our own country, the United States of America. But I'd like to show you another picture. This too may be a farm that you might find in the United States of America. In fact, this farm takes place, it's a farm that you might see in Idaho or Washington or Colorado because those are the states that grow lots of potatoes. Potatoes grow on a vine and they grow in the dirt, yeah. But here's a farm that you might find in Brazil. And if you look carefully, you can see the farmer is picking a very special fruit. In this picture, it is green, but when you eat it, it is yellow. Anybody recognize that fruit? Well, if you're saying banana, very good. This farmer is growing bananas, that's right. Take a good look. I'm going to bring it closer to you so you can see the green bananas. And this is the type of fruit that might grow in the country of Brazil. Here's another picture of a farm around the world. We're talking about Brazil, the United States of America. Here's a farm that you might find in China. These farmers are growing rice. Who likes to eat rice? I do. Rice is very nice. Rice, nice. Those two words rhyme. In fact, these farmers plant rice seeds beneath the dirt in the field, and then they cover the field with water. And after about 4 months, the farmers are ready to harvest. Remember that? Collect the food that's ready to be eaten. They are able to harvest the rice, and then, gee, how do we get the rice? Well, we're going to talk a little bit too about transportation, because these items, these food items are grown all around the world. Yeah, and some of these food items, you need it to be very, very warm to grow. For example, oranges only grow in a warm place. Is our weather and climate always warm and hot here in the Northeast what state do we live in? New York. No, it is not. No, it is not. But in Florida, it's very warm, and maybe a lot of our oranges come from somewhere else, far, far away in our own country, or really, really far away in another country, like the bananas from Brazil or the rice from China. Today's very special story and core story for this week is called An Orange in January. Are we in the month of January right now? No, we are not. But we do have two very special birthdays in January. Right, Ajay? Ajay's birthday and mine are both in January. But it's not January. January, over. February, over. March, over. We are in the month of let's clap it. April. Good, one more time. April. How many claps? 2. One, Pril, 2. 2 claps, 2 syllables. So even though we are not in the month of January, we're still going to read a story that takes place in January. And you can see that the person on the cover is wearing some very warm clothing. Why? Because in January it's very, very cold. Unfortunately, this April that we're in right now is also a little chilly-willy. Let's get to our story. Again, the title, the name of the story, is An Orange in January. And it is written by Diana Hutz Aston. She's the author. And illustrated means the illustrator is the person who draws the pictures. It's illustrated by Julie Marin. Let's put our book up on the board and read it together. Just give me a minute to put on the clips. Title again, An Orange in January. Let's take a look at our book. This is what we call the title page, An Orange in January. And there's a beautiful bowl of fruit. Personally, I like all the fruit in that bowl. I see bananas, pears, or a pear, an orange, an apple, and some grapes. Author, Diana Hutz Aston. Illustrator, Julie Marin. Take a look at this. Can everybody see? Let's make sure you can see. In a land that glowed with spring light, an orange blossomed. Who can tell me what oranges grow on? Do they grow on a vine, like pumpkins and potatoes? Or do they grow on a tree? Very good. If you said tree, you are correct. You are correct. Look at these bees. Bees feasted on nectar sweet as honey until, well, let's count the bees before we find out until. Let's see, how many bees do we see? 1, count with me, I want to hear you. 2, good, Samantha. 3, I think I hear Shane. 4, good, Kalel. 5, excellent, Ajay. 6, I think I heard you say it. So the bees feasted on nectar sweet as honey until, what's going to happen next? The petals fell away and the orange began to grow into what is meant to be, and there, if you look carefully, there's a very small orange circle there, and that's the beginning of an orange, a piece of fruit, which was meant to be. It grew slowly and steadily, fed by the earth's soil and the ocean's breath. So we talked about soil, just a fancy word for dirt. Very good. Soaked with rain and drenched in sunshine, the orange grew plump and bright until, remember, all living things need rain and all living things need the sun. The sun gives us what? Light and heat. So the piece of fruit, which started out very small, grew. Yeah, it grew until it became plump and bright. Much bigger. A hand, brown with the seasons of the sun, plucked it from a branch. And here it is, so plump and ripe and ready. And here comes the hand. While dew still glittered on the leaves, its days of growing were over, but there was life in it yet, and it still had far to go. And let's make a text-to-text connection. Do you remember when we read that nice story about Tiki Tiki Tembo, No Se Rembo? Yes, and the painter had to come and save him when he fell into the well. Well, in that story, someone was using a what? A ladder. Good. Here it is again. Here's a ladder. This person is climbing the ladder so they can reach the oranges, which are way up high. From bag, he puts them in his bag, to basket. To basket. Take a look. I see a truck. I see a truck that's being filled with beautiful, plump, juicy oranges. Truck to truck. Truck to big truck. Take a look. Where do you think they're going? Where do you think they're going? Well, there are lots of oranges there. I don't think everybody can eat the oranges in that one state. And I do think people who live far, far away would love to have a plump, juicy orange. So how do they get there? They're transported. They're transported, and there are different ways to transport things. You can send them by ship, by truck, maybe by plane, right? So they're transported to another place far away where maybe oranges don't grow. It followed the skyway over mountains and across deserts and plains. A mountain is a landform. Here's a desert. It's a very dry place. And plains are very, very flat. So these oranges, they travel. They travel along. And remember, the land is never the same in our great, beautiful country. It's very different from place to place. But they follow the road. Remember the story Road Work? Roads are important. So they can go from a warm place through many different states. And let's see what happens to our oranges until the orange arrived at a grocery store. There it rested, aglow with the goodness inside it, until maybe you've been in a grocery store. Take a look at this picture. I see lots of fruits and people with their carts. We play a great game called Supermarket, right? Supermarket, and everyone gets a cart and they have to, and a list, and they have to look for the items that are called. Well, here's some real carts. Until two hands, small and soft, took it from the pile and called it the best one of all. Have you ever helped to pick out an orange? Mrs. E is very fussy when she goes to the grocery store. She looks at all of them. She picks them up. She looks at them. Sometimes I use my nose and my sense of smell to smell it to see if it smells fresh. This little boy looks very happy with the orange that he has selected. Carrying it home, the child felt its roundness. Who can tell me what shape is an orange? We don't want to say it's a circle because that's 2D. What's a 3D shape that's round? A ball, a globe. They're all what? Sphere. Spheres, very good. An orange is a sphere. And he imagined himself, he used his imagination to juggle, to pitch, or he pretended to be a clown with an orange ball. That night, as ice gleamed on the branches, he dreamed of a land that shone in summer light. Nothing like the summer. Looks like the beach. This is certainly the day sky. We see the sun, which is a star, and we see clouds, which really are just, each cloud is just a mass of teeny tiny water droplets. And there's the night sky. The opposite of day is night, where you see the moon. And actually those are snowflakes, but you would also see the stars. When morning came, the orange reached the end of its journey, bursting with the seasons inside it. Look, there's Mom. She's getting breakfast ready, and this little boy is helping to pack up his lunchbox. Like you, Kalel. You bring a lunchbox every day. You too now, Samantha. And Two Hands, pink with cold, shared its segments, because when you peel an orange, inside they have individual slices that you can pull apart and share, so that everyone could taste the sweetness of an orange in January. Yum, yummy. He's making an orange smile. Pretty funny. Vegetables grow in different ways. Peas grow on vines. You can see them right here. Carrots grow underground. They're called root. It's a root vegetable like the potato. Corn stalks grow above the ground. Kind of look like that first picture I showed you of a farm that you might see in the United States of America. Here it is again. I believe that might be a cornfield where corn grows. Farmers grow many fruits. Oranges grow on trees. Blueberries, they grow on bushes, which is a plant. We know trees and plants and grass, right? Bushes, they're all plants. Grapes grow on vines. So do potatoes and pumpkins, we know that. And some farmers sell their foods nearby. They bring their crops to local markets. Local is a word that we once had in Reading Wonders. It means it's close to, it's in your neighborhood or close by, local. They take them to the markets in trucks. Other farmers sell their foods far, far away. They send crops on trains. That's a mode of transportation I did not mention before. They send crops on trains to other states. Some crops are sent by airplanes or big boats. So you see, you can transport crops to faraway places, faraway countries if need be. What will you buy at the market? Everything is fresh and delicious. There are so many choices. Make a list and get started. Well, this father and son, or grandpa and son, they made a list and they decided, they checked off cucumbers. Anybody eat cucumbers? I do. And apples. Who likes apples? I definitely do as well. Very good. So we're talking about the kinds of foods that might grow on a farm. Think about all the fruits and vegetables you like. And maybe the farm isn't local. It could be far, far away. But we get to enjoy fruits and vegetables from faraway farms because they're transported to us either by plane, by ship, by train, by truck, or by car. So it's nice to know that when we go to the supermarket, we have lots of fruits and vegetables to choose. Now, we have 2 new sight words this week, and I'm looking for them right now. Hold on. I think they're back here. We have with. Let's spell it. W-I-T-H. Everybody, with. One more time. What is this word? Let's read it together. With. W-I-T-H. Excellent. With. One more time. With. Can anyone use it in a sentence? I'll go first. I like to spend time with you. I like to spend time with you. You try a sentence. Do I hear any out there? Maybe you'll make your sentence later. How about this word? Remember we were doing opposites? We said day, night, up, down. Well, what's the opposite of she? He. It happens to rhyme too. She, he. Let's spell he together. H-E. He. He is crying. Oh, I hope that's not true of any of our friends. Let's change it. He is happy. He is strong. I'm going to try to use both my words, with and he, in a sentence. Let me get my marker. I'm going to start with the word he. But if I'm starting a sentence, I need the H to be what? Upper or lower? Uppercase. Okay, so here it is. He. I'm going to make an uppercase H. He, H-E, everybody read it with me. He is with, let's put it in, spell it with me, W-I-T-H. He is with, and I bet you know this word. It's not my, but it's me. He is with me. Let's read it together. He is with me. Now I need punctuation. Am I asking a question? No, I'm not. Would I use a question mark? No, I would not. I'm not saying, is he with you? I'm not asking. I'm telling you. He, read it with me, is with me. So what would I use? Not a question mark, but oh, I think I heard Olivia say period. Good job. He is with me. Good sentence, using both our words. He, read them with me again. I want to hear you. With, good. He is with me. Now, while you're at home, I want you to make 2 new cards up with those 2 new words and put them in your stack, because we have quite a great big stack growing. Every single week we add to it. So keep practicing those words. Now, also I want to show you very quickly, I read you your course story, An Orange in January, but in your reader, which you do have at home, you are going to be reading another story called Ron, come on, what is that word? W-I-T-H, with red, R-E-D, red. Remember that color song I taught you? And if you look carefully, you're going to see the word with is in that story. So good luck as you read it. I think you may enjoy it. And I see some orange trees in the background. I wonder if they're on a farm. All right, now let's take a look at our 2 new letters that we're going to talk about this week. We have the letter F. Say it with me. Uppercase F, lowercase f. F, fire. Everybody, put your teeth on your bottom lip. Let's try it again. Uppercase F. Remember, if I don't hear you saying it, then you're not doing your very best to learn it. Nobody's on vacation now. Let's go. Uppercase F, lowercase f, F, fire. Very good. And I have a song, and it goes like this. Let's build a fire, Fiona said to Farley. Let's build a fire and invite all the friends. You bring the chicken dogs, I'll bring the buns. Let's build a fire and we'll have lots of fun. Good. Now a fire begins with F, and a fire is very, very hot. You never want to touch fire, you would get burned. Only moms and dads can handle fire. But fires give us heat. They keep us warm, they give us light, and we can use fire to cook. You might see fire when your mom turns on the stove to maybe cook your corn. Now, I have some pictures that begin with F rather, and I'd like you to look at them. Let's do them real quick. Fire, everyone say it with me. Fire. Let's make the sound. Fish. 5. Musical instrument. Maybe you see this in music class. Flute. You blow into a flute. Up, something nobody cares to have around, especially at a picnic. A fly. It's an insect. Sports fans, what's that? Football. Good. Fox. Very good. We talked about this tool. It's a utensil. A fork. Very good. And if you're hot, you're going to turn on the fan. Excellent. Very good. Up more. Feet. Feet. And this covers birds. What's that? Feathers. Very good. Feathers. Excellent. And back to fire. So we have letter F, uppercase F, lowercase f, fire. Very good. And we have one more word. So this week was a very big week. We had 2 letters and 2 high frequency words. So let's take a look at our next one. What is that? Does anyone know what that is a picture of? It's a rose. And we have uppercase R, say it with me, lowercase r, rose, everyone. One more time, don't say because that's ER. We're saying You ready? Uppercase R, lowercase r, rose, Now here comes your song. I want you to take a good look at the rose, because on the stem they sometimes have thorns. Hard to see in this picture, but thorns are pointy and sharp. A rose is nice, a rose is sweet, it's the loveliest flower you'll ever meet. But here is a warning and a word to the wise. Be careful or ouch, you'll get a sharp surprise. Yes, you might get a sharp surprise with a rose, because they have what we call thorns. They're pointy and sharp like needles. Ouch, you have to be very, very careful. But I do have a couple more pictures that begin with that R sound before we end today. You ready? We have rose, a gardening tool. We talked about this tool in the fall when all the leaves were falling down. Remember that? A rake. Rhymes with cake. And take and make. All those words rhyme. Rake, right? Take the rake and clean them up. Remember, we were cleaning up the leaves, the falling leaves. And how about this? What is that? Oh, I want you to take a good look at that. Rhymes with block. It's a rock. Good, we're going to be talking about rocks this week in science. Yes, we are. A rock is a natural resource. That means it's a gift from planet, everybody, Earth. Very good. We're going to talk about rocks. And up, I have one on here. I'm wearing a ring. Good. You might have seen lots of these around, especially because we celebrated Easter just not too long ago. Rabbit, very good. And back to your R. So, very, very, very quickly, everybody. We learned about letter F. We learned about letter, R. We learned 2 new sight words, he and with, and we also talked about different farms that you could find all over the world that grow different types of things. And we talked about how sometimes foods and fruits and vegetables that are grown far, far away, how they get here, right? How are they transported? We talked about transportation by truck, ship, train, car, plane. And we also read a wonderful story called An Orange in January, because oranges, where we live, the climate is way too cold to grow oranges in January. So we get our oranges from faraway places. And that's a good thing, because when we go to the grocery store, we have a great big selection. I hope you enjoyed Reading Wonders this week. I know I did. It was so nice spending time with you. Samantha, AJ, Olivia, Shane, and Kalel. Catch my kiss. Mwah! I'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye. Bye. Now do your worksheets that I sent you. Do your best. I'm counting on you. Bye, friends.